An afternoon finale against the Detroit Tigers, and with their eyes set on a W, they look to pick up their first three-game sweep of the season. The Tigers send righty Michael Fulmer to the mound this afternoon. His lone win of the season came back on his second start, but today he's taking on a team he's beaten in all three opportunities. Now the Twins will counter with Kyle Gibson, who's also in search of win number 2. Last time out was an uncharacteristic loss for Gibby, who's been one of the most consistent arms for the Twins so far this season. Welcome to Target Field, everybody. I'm Audra Martin. Before the Twins head out on this upcoming road trip, they have the chance to end this homestand on a high note and do something they have yet to be able to accomplish this season, and that's to win 4 in a row here at home. What would make it even sweeter is that would include a 3-game sweep against a division opponent. Now, while they haven't had too many matchups against Central Division opponents, they've made the most of them so far. With a 7-2 record, they've scored 4.6 runs a game while holding their opponents to under 3. Now, it may only be 9 games, but when it comes to those division opponents, a solid foundation is key and something big to build on.
The way the game's structured, it plays. You know, I mean, your interdivision record can go a long way to influence your, desire and your goal to try to find a way to win the division. So when you get these matchups and you can take advantage, win series, and when given the opportunity to get greedy and try to sweep one, you try to take advantage the best you can.
Coming up with 2 extra base hits and 3 RBI last night, Brian Dozier had the kind of night he's been searching for at home. Dick Bramer and Bert Blyleven take a look at how he seems to be getting things back on track.
From Target Field, the Twins wrap up a homestand that got started off on the wrong foot. They've got a chance to finish on a high note with a sweep. 5 doubles last night as the Twins won their 3rd straight ball game and the first 2 games of their 3-game series with the Detroit Tigers. And we welcome you to Target Field. Dick Bramer and Burt Blyleven, and the Twins lineup is starting to show some signs of life. Maybe the return of Miguel Sano is imminent, and Brian Dozier looks like he's starting to figure some things out.
Yeah, good night at the plate last night for Brian Dozier, driving in half of the runs the Twins needed to beat the Tigers last night with a couple doubles. With 2 strikes on him, I think we've seen from Brian starting to take that ball the other way. So that's very good hitting. He has struggled here at Target Field this year, hitting just 184. None of his 7 home runs have been hit here yet, but he's starting to heat up. Why? Because through May, hitting .230, but after May, over the last 3 seasons, he has turned things around. So maybe last night was a good sign for Brian Dozier.
The Twins are continuing their drive to get to the 500 mark and then over it. We'll see if they can complete a sweep over the Tigers when we come back. Losing streak, but now the Twins have built a 3-game winning streak, would like to complete the sweep. It would be their first 3-game sweep of the year.
And it helped the Twins get back to 500 too. 2 games under 500 right now.
There he is. It's been a tough road trip, disappointing road trip. The Tigers are heading home for a dozen games. And Ron Gardenhire telling me this morning they've already played 4 doubleheaders this year. They too have, with 7 postponements, been dealing with some rotten weather. The Menards batting order for the Tigers: Leonis Martin leading off, Nick Castellanos, Victor Martinez, Nico Goodrum hitting cleanup, John Hicks, Jacoby Jones, Grayson Greiner, Jose Iglesias, and Dixon Machado.
And today's starting pitcher stats brought to you by Home Furniture. Kyle Gibson making his 10th start, looking for his 2nd win. He has pitched a lot better than that record shows as far as wins and losses, and he's had some success against the Tigers, and hopefully he'll have a good one this afternoon, establishing that fastball early.
First pitch sails outside, ball 1. Martinez taken over in center field and in the leadoff spot for the Tigers. He offered at it. It's a strike, 1-1. Tigers come into this game with 5 straight losses.
Martin tried to bunt right there. Yeah, Escobar was playing about, even with the bag, but remember, Kyle Gibson, very good athlete out there. He can cover a lot of ground. So Martin, first time he's shown bunt against a pretty good fielding pitcher.
Swing and a foul ball, 1-2. And if I were a bunter, that would be one of the first things I would check to see the athleticism of the pitcher that day, whether he's able to field his position well. 1-2. Martin, Castellanos, and Martinez here in the Tiger first.
Gibson, 30 years old, in his 6th season with the Twins.
2-2.
Making his 17th career start against the Tigers. He is 6-7 in his career. ERA about 5.5, but his 8th start here at Target Field, where he has won 3 of the 6 games.
Deflected by Morrison. It'll be an infield hit for Martin. A hot smash over the bag, and Morrison was able to get leather on it, but it'll be a leadoff single.
Might have saved an extra base hit right there by Morrison. Take a look right here. Morrison, ball hit the heel of his glove and deflected away into foul territory. So Martin hitting the ball sharply. Not an easy play. Speedy Martin at first base.
Castellanos will bat with a man aboard. We talked about Gibson's numbers, but those were the Tigers of Cabrera, Upton, Kinsler, Martinez. And this is a different bunch here. The Tigers, the ball lined down the left field line, and Castellanos is having a good series. All the way to third base is Martin, and Castellanos jumps on the first pitch and cracks a double.
Yeah, 3rd game in a row that he has led off with a base hit. A home run here on Monday in last night's ball game. A single up the middle, and right here jumping on that first pitch, which we have seen him do. Looked like a breaking ball, stayed up, and it's a double for Castellanos, his 12th double of the year.
6th in the league in batting at .320, and he jumps on the first pitch. Gibson did not feed him a first pitch fastball, and Castellanos jerked a double down the line, and now here is Victor Martinez.
Martinez has the most at-bats against Kyle Gibson, 9 hits and 35 at-bats, hitting .257 against him.
Foul back, a strike.
Tigers swinging early. Martinez with 2,070 major league hits in his 16th major league season. 7th season with the Tigers.
Ball lofted to right, hit right at Kepler, and both runners will move up, and the Tigers get a 1-0 lead.
Well, good at bat by Martinez really does 2 things. It makes the Tigers with a 1-0 lead. It also allows Castellanos to move from 2nd to 3rd.
Another fly ball will get him in. Right. Here is Nico Goodrum.
So Martinez drives in his 21st run of the year as Martin scores.
Twins will bring the infield in here. Twins know that they are facing a formidable starting pitcher, Michael Fulmer, trying to cut down the 2nd run if they can here. Down and away, ball 1.
Of course, the Tiger lineup really misses Miguel Cabrera. I mean, when you have a Goodrum that's just kind of in his rookie season, getting the opportunity to hit 4th in your lineup.
Cracked foul, and it's 1-1.
Goodrum again came out of the Twins organization last year with the Twins. Played in 11 ball games, had 1 major league hit in 17 at-bats.
I don't know that in years past Gibson would be thinking strikeout in a situation like this, because he's more of a strikeout pitcher now than he's ever been. 1-1. And there's strike 2 to Goodrum. Goodrum is striking out about 1 every 3 at bats.
Right.
And what we've seen from Gibson, with the ability now and the emphasis on 2 fastballs, the sinker and the 4-seamer, he's been much more apt to strike a batter out.
I'll tell you what, the way he swung at that slider right there, you have to almost come back with it that same pitch. And Wilson sitting inside.
Missing inside.
Still got to let it go. We'll try to aim it in there, let it go.
2-2. I mean, on the season, 50 innings and 55 strikeouts.
Going back inside.
And fouled back.
Got to get it in if you want to, get that strikeout. That ball left out over the plate. Gibson has a little trouble this year. 26 walks in 50 innings. So Wilson again creeping inside. Fastball slider. What is it?
There it is. The slider. He swung right over the top of it, and Gibson got his strikeout. And that'll bring up John Hicks. Twins out in the field. Jake Cave getting left field. Buxton in center. Kepler in right. Rosario's the designated hitter. Escobar, Adrianza, Dozier, and Morrison the infielders. And Bobby Wilson doing the catching. There's Cave. A chance to play in left field. We've seen him in center and right. Down and away, ball one.
Oh, this is controlling your damage control right here. If Kyle can get Hicks out right here, that's a good job of eliminating the Tigers to only one run. Remember, there were runners at second and third, nobody out.
Dozier backpedals from the outfield grass, throws him out. A good play by Brian Dozier. The Tigers, second and third, nobody out. They get only one run. Shown some signs of life in the lineup that was not there early in the homestand. The Menards batting order for the Twins has Brian Dozier leading off, then Max Kepler, Eddie Rosario, Eduardo Escobar, Logan Morrison, Jake Cave, A-Ray Adrianza, Bobby Wilson, and Byron Buxton.
And today's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture. And that's Michael Fulmer making his 10th start, same as Kyle Gibson.
Dozier with a couple of doubles last night.
Yeah, Fulmer, he's a strikeout type pitcher. When he's on, he'll get a lot of ground ball outs. Pretty good control. Only 17 walks in 52 innings pitched.
Big pop-up. It is back. And out of play.
Good numbers against the Twins. They talked about it. Jack Morris and Tom Hanneman talked about it in the pregame. 3-0 and 3 starts for Fulmer. And the one that he'll always remember his major league debut was here at Target Field, and he won that ball game over Phil Hughes, 9-2, won his first major league game back on April 29th, a couple years ago.
Hit hard to center field. Martin going back, still going back to the wall. Tie game.
Ball stuck.
It's stuck in the wall. And they'll place Dozier at second base.
He came inches away from hitting his first home run this year at Target Field.
Talk about an oddity. It wedged into the panels of the pad in center field.
You don't see that too often. You know, could have just hit another inch and bounced over the pad, but instead it stuck in the pad.
Tigers are looking at it. The Twins are looking at it. And I don't know. I thought the ball stuck in the grass beyond the wall. So it is a double for Dozier.
All the pads out there, of course, they have that divider right there. It's stuck.
Kepler takes a strike over the inside corner.
Well, another double for Dozier. Had 2 of them last night. Picks up his 10th of the year.
Kepler's average creeping up to 253. And a breaking ball on the outside corner. Quickly it goes to 0-2. One thing that Fulmer has done a great job of is limiting home runs. Last year he had a stretch of 73 2/3 innings without allowing a home run.
He allowed only 13 home runs in 165 innings.
Rookie of the year in 2016, an all-star last year. People thought coming into the year with the likes of Justin Verlander gone that Fulmer would emerge as the ace. It's probably been really Matthew Boyd who's emerged as their best starter in the early part of this season. 2 strikes to Kepler. Called, 3rd strike. Kepler is out on strikes. That'll bring up Rosario.
Fastball up a little bit that froze Kepler. So Fulmer picks up a strikeout, his 47th in 52 innings pitched. So that ball come back a little bit.
Rosario, the designated hitter today, will try to get Dozier in with the tying run.
And sometimes those are the little things, you know. The leadoff double, Kepler unable to advance Brian. See if Rosario now can drive him in.
Up and away, ball 1.
Not a lot of at-bats against Fulmer for the Twins. But Rosario, a couple hits and 5 at-bats, and one of them a home run. Eddie leading the Twins with 27 runs batted in.
2-0. Escobar on deck. Down the middle of strike with Rosario backing away.
Now Fulmer, 25 years old, originally the Mets' #1 pick, 44th overall in the 2011 draft out of Deer Creek High School in Edmond, Oklahoma. Came over to the Tigers in the Sepsidus trade back in July of 2015.
And Rosario chases, and it's 2-2. Yeah, he's playing for the right manager. I can imagine Fulmer and Ron Gardenhire swapping Oklahoma stories.
You said, you know, so Rosario swung at a high pitch. That's Eddie Rosario.
He did the other day when he got the double, too.
He likes that pitch. He likes any pitch, actually. As long as he makes contact.
Stroke to right field. There's a base hit. Rounding third. Dozier will score, and Rosario ties the game with a single. You know, he said as much when I was with him in Caravan, and we reflected on a number of stops this winter on his first pitch major league home run and his first at bat. And I said, you kind of like that pitch up and away, don't you? And he says, I like any pitch.
Shades of Tony Oliva, you know, Kirby Puckett, guys that are free swingers are up there not to take, but to swing the bat. And Rosario driving in a run, his 28th of the year, and it's a 1-1 ball game.
Escobar will bat. There's a chance that when we next bring you Twins baseball Friday night from Seattle, that the middle of the Twins lineup will look substantially different. There's a chance that Miguel Sano will be with the club, and that will change things a little bit for the likes of Escobar, who's done a nice job hitting cleanup for the Twins. Today for Rochester, Sano's going to play first base. He got 3 hits, hit a home run last night, and getting a chance to play some first base. And you can imagine a world with Joe Mauer not in the Twins lineup or on the roster that Sano might see some time as a right-handed complement to Logan Morrison at first base. 2 strikes to Escobar.
Go back inside again. Oh, breaking ball.
Rosario skitters toward second base but retreats. It was prematurely perceived, I think, that this was going to be a lost season. And then on the last road trip, the Twins won 7 of 8 games, got close to the 500 mark. And now the Twins are hoping with a win today they can get within 1 game of 500. And Escobar chases upstairs at 96, strikes out 2 down.
Bowler picks up his second strikeout.
Northland 4 defense for the Tigers. A lot of different faces out there. Martins in center, flanked by Castellanos, the former infielder Jacoby Jones. Nico Goodrum in at third for Jamer Candelario, who's on the disabled list on a rehab assignment. Iglesias has been a fixture at short. Machado and Hicks on the right side. Grayson Griner behind the plate. Morrison takes strike 1. Tigers actually carry 3 catchers because John Hicks, the first baseman, is playing first base in the absence of Miguel Cabrera. And when Cabrera comes back, Hicks will be the backup catcher, and we don't know what that will mean for Grayson Griner.
Yeah, Griner came up back in early May on the 6th, so getting an opportunity to catch here.
Tap foul, 0-2.
Oh, right in there.
Twins have an off day tomorrow, and then they'll head to Seattle for 3 games. They'll be taking on a very banged up Mariner team. Watched the end of their game last night. Gene Segura banged into a catcher and injured his left shoulder. Nelson Cruz has a bad elbow. Mitch Haniger got removed from the game after being hit by a pitch in the wrist, missing inside. You know about Dee Gordon, put on the disabled list yesterday. Robinson Cano, for a couple of reasons, won't be playing for a while. 1-2 to Morrison. Driven to deep left center field. Jones is back, tracking it, makes the catch on the warning track.
Nice running catch.
Morrison hitting it a long way to the opposite field. The Twins get a double and a single to tie the game in the bottom of the first.
From the clubhouse, Paul Molitor says he's been very pleased with what Bobby Wilson has brought to the team so far. He pointed out that he has more RBI than hits and joked that that's a really good sign of a great backup catcher. He also said he's not as loud, but he's similar to Chris Jimenez in the sense that his unwavering positivity is contagious in this clubhouse. Jake Cave says he's starting to really feel like he belongs at this level. He says, you see guys on the highlight shows every night and you start to feel like they can do no wrong, but then you see them in person and realize even the best guys have some bad days, and that's helping to grow his confidence here with the Twins. Michael Pineda was here at Target Field this morning, and Paul Molitor said they had to downshift his rehab a bit, which was expected, but he's been easing into long toss, and he was throwing off the mound today for the first time. Guys?
That's another arm to consider as the Twins look forward to what they hope will be a competitive second half of the season. Trevor May is going to be with the big league club soon, barring any setbacks. So too Irvin Santana.
Yeah, Pineda, I think his course is maybe in September able to maybe help the Twins a little bit, but they signed him to that 2-year contract basically knowing that coming off the Tommy John surgery, it's kind of a lost year, but get him ready for 2019.
And if he can help this year, it's a bonus.
Yes.
Yeah. Jacoby Jones tried to bunt, and now he stands in there with a 1-2 count.
First of all, support says hurdle on the baseball game.
And he flails away at that Gibson breaking ball, which is so much better than it's been in the past.
I think a couple of reasons. Kyle has moved over on the pitching rubber too, and the angle is a little bit better geometry toward those right-handed hitters. Right-handers coming into the ball game hitting only 224 off of it.
I don't know that how many years we worked together? 23. I don't know that I've ever heard you relate it to geometric terms.
Planes on angles, we talk about that a lot.
Escobar flips to Morrison, and Griner's quickly retired.
Let's go to our Pizza Ranch.
Now we're talking pizza. Everybody likes pizza.
Pizza.
Some people don't like geometry, but everybody likes pizza.
That's right. What's the Twins have to do to win here? Continue strong starting pitching. That's one thing the Twins have been able to do here in the month of May. They're 12-8. Starting staff has pitched well. The bullpen has pitched well. They've kept the team in the game.
Here is Iglesias. What was your favorite subject in school?
Math.
Seriously?
Math, yes. I love math.
I never would have guessed that.
Yeah. That PE, study hall, but math.
Okay.
How about you?
Rounder left side, cut off by Escobar. Good throw. History. I like history. Still do. Might see some today.
Christopher Columbus.
Major League Baseball game here today. He's got his glove on. He's ready. Love to see kids at the ballpark. Jake Cave will lead things off. One thing I like to do at least once a homestand is just once the game prep is done, just walk through the concourses after the gate opens and just walk around and see the excitement on the fans of actually being at a ball game. Cave, Adrianza, and Wilson here in the second inning.
Cave 1 for 5 so far. And that one a big one, a big 2-run home run.
Presently constituted, the Twins have 3 extra outfielders on the team, counting Robbie Grossman. You got Cave and you got Lamar. So as the roster evolves in the next few days, Twins potentially activating Miguel Sano, and who knows what other moves might be made. It stands to reason that if someone has to go off the roster, it might be one of the extra outfielders.
Well, right now the Twins have a 12-man staff. I like that. Hopefully they can maintain that. It gives Paul Molitor one extra bench move.
Fly ball center field. And Martin now drifting back, still going back, and on the edge of the track he makes the catch. Stanford Health injury report involves Miguel Sano, who last night to right center field clobbered a home run. He also got a couple of hits. Didn't get a chance to get much play in the field, and so today the plan is he'll start the game and play first base. Here's A-Ray Adrianza's had a good series, and he takes high, ball 1.
Irvin Santana scheduled to pitch tonight in Chattanooga.
Yeah, they moved him to Chattanooga because the weather in Florida has been so wet. 1-0.
Yeah, new tropical storm moving up that way.
I asked you this the other day. Isn't this early for tropical storms in Florida?
Well, for the longest time we had no rain down in the southwest Florida, and now they're getting a bunch of it.
1-1 to Adrianza. A couple of doubles for the Twins shortstop last night. And he takes inside. Should give you, I suppose, some update on Matthew Boyd, the Detroit starter who left in the 5th inning last night. Said he feels better today, had a little oblique twinge, spasm. And the Tigers did the smart thing and got him out of there. They're hopeful that he will be able to make his next start. 2-2. Check to swing 3-2.
Boyd
didn't want to come out of the ball game, but the last thing the Tigers need is to lose one of their better stories of the year for an extended period of time. A drive to right center field. Castellanos fills the gap, makes the catch, 2 down. He's hitting some balls hard against Fulmer here in the early going.
And hitting it in the air. Usually when Fulmer is on, you'll get a lot of ground ball outs, a lot like Kyle Gibson. So fastball's up. Guys are hitting it in the air.
2 down, and now Bobby Wilson. Wilson's done a really nice job getting a chance to play with Jason Castro, first going on the disabled list for what the Twins hoped would be a short period of time, and then came word that Castro would be lost for the season. So till further notice, Wilson is going to be on a big league roster.
Yeah, Wilson has a little Tiger history. He was with the Tigers a couple years ago for a while, then moved over to the Texas Rangers and ended the 2016 season with the Tampa Bay Rays.
Spent all of last year in the Dodger AAA team, so he never got a major league at bat last year. He takes here, and so you can imagine he's thrilled to be on a big league roster and getting a chance to catch 2-3 times a week. He's thrilled he made the decision to keep after it. When the Twins told him he would not make their 25-man roster in March, he told me yesterday he debated retiring. Checked his swing again, and he said it took him a full day to come to the conclusion that he wasn't done yet. He's got 3 kids, He's 35 years old, and he thought it might be time to turn the page. Boy, he's really glad that he decided to accept the minor league assignment, and now here he is in the big leagues.
Well, you're not going to get a lot of offense out of Wilson. What you get is his leadership in the clubhouse, on the field. Guy that came over the Angels back in 2008. Been with about a handful of different teams.
Well, that bat started 0-2. Now it's 3-2. Yeah, 4 for 23 with the Twins, but the hits have done some damage. 2 doubles and a home run. And he checked his swing and took a walk. And Fulmer looks off in the distance, screams something into his glove, and that'll bring up Byron Buxton.
Probably said the same thing Lance Lynn said last night.
Except I think Lance said it about 5 times.
Yeah. You just, sometimes guys don't show their, I guess their emotions, but some pitchers do. Some players do.
Buxton got a
great outing for Lance Lynn. Great numbers.
Big RBI single last night. Waits on the off-speed pitch and swings and misses. 1 strike. I think we all anticipated that when Byron started to play up here rather than having a rehab assignment, that the first few games of at-bats would be kind of hard ones for him, difficult ones. We didn't expect him to step right back into the batter's box and start lashing line drives, and that's how it's played out. But now we've seen a couple of really good at-bats and some solid hitting in some at-bats. Behind here now 0-2. Up and in.
Well, going inside, but Fulmer, good slider, so maybe showing inside. See if they come back with a hard slider here. Breaking ball stayed up
and hung, but Buxton missed it. Byron would like to get another look at another swing at that pitch.
Yeah, Fulmer has that hard slider. Looked like a curveball right there. He wanted it down, but Buxton fouled that high breaking ball off. Fulmer with a couple strikeouts, 1 walk.
Checked his swing, but not in time.
There's that slider.
We head to the 3rd, tied at 1. Dairy Queen combination for this afternoon's game. The first time this year the Twins have gotten at least 6 2/3 from their starter in back-to-back games. Brios went 8. Lynn went 6 2/3.
Yeah, Brios gave up a couple runs, and then Lynn's shutout performance last night. So nice to see, and that's what Gibson would like to do. Follow up what those two guys did.
Dixon Machado takes strike one.
Yeah, I always say hitting is contagious. Sometimes pitching is contagious. You know, you get into a nice little roll. You all compete against each other.
And now inside. Tried to reinforce the notion. Of course, we don't know how it's going to turn out, but this Twins rotation that was built in the offseason now, perhaps for the first time, is looking as formidable as everyone hoped it would be. You've got 1 through 5 right now without Irvin Santana. 5 guys who are capable, and I think players playing behind them are confident they got a real good chance of winning a ball game that day. Gibson's been good. He only has 1 win, but an ERA of under 4. Lynn with an encouraging outing last night. Odorizzi's been very good. And then you get the 2 23-year-olds, Romero and Barrios.
Yeah, I think the month of March and April didn't go very well for the starting staff. A very high ERA at almost 5, but they've really picked it up. The month of May has been very, very good for the ball club overall as far as the pitching. Starters combined, Twins are 12-8. Starters are 8-3 in the month of May with a 3.33 ERA. Relievers doing a better job. 2.77 combined, were in April, March and April, there were 5.98 combined.
Nice swing. The Twins team ERA as a result of a good month of May, 4.30, which is smack dab right in the middle of the 15 teams in the American League in terms of team ERA. 7 teams better and 7 teams worse. Full count and a tapper to third, foul. Now, to put it in some perspective, 4.30, there's room for improvement, and I think the Twins are convinced it will get better. Last year, the Twins won 85 ball games with a 4.59 team ERA, and the American League average is just a little bit better than that, 4.24.
I think with the arms that they have right now, and Irvin Santana can come back, you're looking at a pretty good starting staff.
Lazy fly ball to right center field, and Buxton with a catch, 1 away. So far, the team is averaging just over 4 runs a game. Last year, they averaged just over 5 runs a game.
Again, they're 12-8 in the month of May. So a lot of good things going, not only for the pitching staff, also for the offense. They've picked it up.
One thing you like is that bottom number. At least that's what I like. Opponent batting average of 224. That's really good. And Fernando Rodney, after the blow up in New York, there's another attempt at a bunt. Martin didn't offer at it, but he squared the bunt. It's the 3rd time in the first 10 plate appearances that the Tigers have threatened to bunt.
Martin tried it. Jones tried it.
1-0. There's now a swinging bunt, and Wilson has plenty of time to make the play, 2 down.
Right off the end of the bat, and Wilson, the veteran, hopping out behind home plate, barehanding it and getting the out at first. And that's important right there. You know, sometimes you'll see a guy try to get that ball with his glove, but Wilson picking it up and making a nice twist around and make the play.
Here's Nicholas Castellanos. Castellanos took an off-speed pitch and rifled it into the left field corner for a double. And he is the last man to have reached against Kyle Gibson. He sent down 8 men in a row. Check swing.
Castellanos in his 6th season with the Tigers came up very young. He's 26 years old. Tigers #1 pick back in 2010.
Fouled away, 1-1. You know, Tigers are looking for positives. They're looking for hopeful signs of the future. And Castellanos has to be one of them. Not only is he hitting, but he's hitting and has hit without the support he had in the lineup last year. Now, sometimes when good hitters leave a team, the players that are left behind, it's a different world for them. There's less protection in the lineup. But Castellanos has emerged as a really good hitter. And this is right now without Cabrera, but without Kinsler, without Upton, without you know, a lot of the guys that had been fixtures in that lineup.
Yeah, last year he had 272, career high, 26 home runs. He drove in 101 runs last year.
2-1. Tapper to short. And Adrianza quickly to Morrison. 3 quick outs for Gibson. And he set down 9 men in a row.
Have not been going great for Washington's Michael A. Taylor the last few weeks, but last night should be a good jump start. The Nats and Padres tied at 1 in the 9th. He ripped a shot deep to center field, scoring Juan Soto for the walk-off victory. He was in shock, just waiting at second base, waiting for his teammates to come celebrate with him. A few innings earlier, though, he also picked up a crucial outfield assist, throwing a potential go-ahead run out at the plate. So overall night, great night for Michael A. Taylor, guys.
Yeah, the Nationals are 3 games out starting play today. 5 games above the 500 mark, and I don't know that there's going to be a better division to watch than the National League East. That really is going to be. You got Atlanta surprising everybody, the Phillies surprising everybody. Everyone thought the Nationals would maybe run away with the division. Doesn't look like that's going to be the case. There's a pitch taken by Dozier, 2-1.
Well, it's still early right now, but it's good for baseball the way the Braves, that young ball club, has responded, and also the Phillies.
And 4 teams in the National League Central with winning records, and nobody in the American League Central. The division leader is Cleveland, and they're 23-23. 3-1 now to Dozier. He'll be followed by Kepler and Rosario. Down by Iglesias, and he throws Dozier out.
That's a nice play by Iglesias right there, using his body as a shield to make that ball drop in front of him.
June 1st is Skol Night at Target Field. A limited number of Skol theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and a Twins purple Skol cap. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/Skol. Or call 800-33-TWINS. In case you're wondering, the Cleveland Indians are in town that night for the second game of a 4-game series. Half swing by Kepler.
You know, there's a lot of good shortstops in the American League and all of baseball, but Iglesias to me is one of the top. He does a good job playing shortstop. Did for Boston and now here in Detroit.
He's not going to put up the numbers offensively that Lindor and Correa and Machado are going to put up. 1 strike to Kepler. Inside a ball. Kepler struck out swinging his first time up. Oh. Kepler fouling it off his front leg. High up on the leg, it looked like.
He's going to walk it off.
Abe coming out with Paul Molitor. Right on the shin. Boy. Couldn't have been back on the backside of the ankle where there's some muscle right on the bone.
Always remember Jermaine Dodd. He did that. Ended up breaking his shin. Making sure that Max is okay.
And Max will stay in the game. Again, the Twins have outfield depth beyond what they normally have with both Robbie Grossman and Ryan Lamar on the bench for today's game. Kepler will hang in there and hope to not do that for a few days. Foul the ball off that angle.
Looks like Fulmer basically what they're going at Kepler, everything inside. And another fastball inside, slider inside, fastball inside.
2-2.
Kepler took that high fastball for strike 3 in his first at bat. That was middle in. It rode back over the plate. Ryder going back inside again.
And foul back. I'm sure in the Twins dugout, the trainers and the manager, everybody looking at Kepler with that first swing after fouling the ball. How it felt, how it looked with the weight transfer from the back leg to the front leg.
Oh, just hit a home run right here. That way you can just jog around the bases.
Had the right trajectory.
Yeah.
But a foul ball. When Seattle was in town, I was talking about such things with Edgar Martinez. 2-2 to Kepler. Another one fouled and he didn't miss the front leg by much. But Edgar said to this day, now he hasn't played for what, 10 years. He still has no feeling in his left ankle along the bone. He pounded so many foul balls against his ankle, he's lost sensation in his lower left leg because of that.
Yeah, you remember back then the guys didn't wear the paddings that they had.
Edgar did.
Yeah. I don't remember Edgar with padding.
No.
Any type of guard, you know, like a mini shin guard.
When you fouled it, they just take that can, that aerosol stuff, and spray it like that was going to do any good. What a barbaric thing to do. And Kepler will walk to first. Did you ever have any occasion to have that stuff put on you, that spray stuff that the freeze stuff?
It didn't do anything, yeah.
Well, it must have killed the pain for a little. It froze it, right?
I was very lucky. I never got hit above the waist. Greg Walker got me the worst around the groin area. That made me hurt. And I still feel that today. Because he got me really good.
Here is Rosario, tied the game with a sharp single.
I'll show you where he hit.
No, that's all right. Outside a ball. Rosario driving in his 28th run of the year. Manny Machado leading the league with 43 runs batted in. Swing and a miss. 1-1.
That's amazing because Baltimore is 18 games under 500.
Machado a free agent after this year. A position change. Was a third baseman. Now he's a shortstop. There are a lot of rumblings that he won't last the year in Baltimore. Popped up behind third. Long run for Goodrum. Long run for Jones. And Jones makes a fair ball catch. calling off Goodrum at the last instant.
Yeah, Jones was shading Rosario toward left center, so that ball hit high enough, allowed the speedster Jones to get underneath it.
We'll bring up Escobar. Went down swinging on a high fastball. His first time up.
Let's go, baby.
Fulmer not liking that Escobar stepped out, but you know what, Escobar, I've seen this a lot. Escobar will call time a lot. Try to mess up the timing of the pitcher.
Very high, ball one. Escobar's done a good job for the Twins at third base and hitting typically cleanup. Switch hitter who's done some damage from both sides of the plate. Came into the game hitting .311 right-handed, .274 from this side of the plate. We've talked with Roy Smalley about this and how, switch hitter who is really strong from one side and really weak from the other, even if it's for a couple of weeks, makes it tough to put him in the middle of the lineup. Swing and a miss, and it's 1 and 2.
A lot of extra base hits for Escobar too. 17 doubles. He's in the top 3 in the American League in doubles. But last year, career high 21 home runs, 7 as a left-handed, against a right-handed pitcher. It's 14 against lefties.
It's got to be the other way around, isn't it?
Just looking.
There aren't that many left-handed pitchers to hit 14 home runs.
First right-handers, he hit 14 against left-handed pitchers, 7.
Yep. 1 and 2.
But still power from both sides of the plate. And he hit .254 last year. Remember, he took over for Sano at third base, did a great job last year. He's found himself over at third again this year.
Got a piece to stay alive. Kepler's at first because he fought back from 0-2 and a painful foul ball to draw a walk.
.63 pitches for Fulmer. 20 in the first, 21 in the second.
Now up and away, 2-2. And now Fulmer spins out on the mound. And he appears to be okay. Last night it was Boyd in the middle innings that had to leave because of a little twinge, and now everyone looking, and they're going to come out and check, at least the catcher is, on Fulmer, who spun out on his follow through on the mound.
Maybe trying to overstride a little bit, and then just kind of maybe his landing area, his left foot. Take a look right here, watch the follow through. Looks like the left ankle.
And foul back. No charged trip to the mound. You saw Chad Whitson go out with Griner to make sure that it wasn't a strategy session. Just checking on the physical conditioning of the pitcher. That's hit to center, but it'll hang in the air for Martin, and the Twins go scoreless in the third. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. By Grant Casino, the best stories start here. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. Final game of the homestand. The Twins are 4-4 during this home stretch. Trying to put together a winning homestand. Gibson gave up hits and eventually a run. Hits to the first two batters of the first inning. If you're tired, everybody since 9 in a row sent down by the Twins right-hander. And here's Victor Martinez. Low, ball one.
I remember a couple nights ago, Jose Barrios retired 15 straight Tiger hitters. See if Gibson can match that.
Martinez drove in the Tiger run with a fly ball to right. Now a ball to left center field. It's down for a hit. And Martinez will be held to a single. So he's aboard, but he clogs up the bases substantially here when he is at first base. He's reached safely with a single, and now Goodrum will bat. Goodrum struck out swinging. It was a big strikeout at the time because the Tigers had just scored a run on the Martinez fly ball. Had another runner at third with one out. And Gibson got the strikeout, then a ground ball off the bat of Hicks, and he got out of the inning with just one run allowed.
If we get a ground ball right here, 5 double plays turned behind Kyle.
It's hit deep to the left field corner, slicing to the pole, but foul. I get nervous about those because, as I pointed out, the Twins have played 44 games and they have given up 4 home runs that have hit the foul poles. That's like 3 years worth. So anything into the corner, I'm a little nervous about.
Would you make it feel better if they maybe move the foul over, maybe about 6 feet?
Those would be foul balls then.
Right.
It was like John Lowenstein's solution, all the close plays at first base. Make the bases closer.
As a pitcher, you want them further.
You want them further, but you would eliminate then all those close plays if you just move the bases back 5 feet.
Yeah, why 90 feet? Why not, 110?
The one that's really weird, why 60 feet 6 inches? That's really strange. 2 strikes to Goodrum. One and 2.
I know a little bit and I like history, baseball history, but they said way back when they put the 90 and 90 bases, foot bases, that it was supposed to be 60 feet. But when whoever came up with Abner Doubleday, whoever came up with the design of a baseball field, it had 60 feet, but point, and it looked supposed to be a 0, but it looked like a 6. So they went with
You're talking about not the base distance, but from the mound to home plate.
Right, 60
okay.
feet.
Really, I hadn't heard that story. There's a deep drive to right. Goodrum with a home run. Swinging the bat like a cleanup batter. A 2-run home run, and it's 3-1.
I got a fastball, his 5th home run, his 5th major league home run. Coming against Kyle Gibson and the Twins. Originally signed by the Twins back in 2010.
Replay brought to you by Dodge.
Wanted that fastball in. It left the stayed up over the plate, and Goodrum makes it a 3-1 Tigers lead.
And now John Hicks will bat. Swing and a miss, strike 1.
For Gibson, that's his 5th home run allowed, and he did allow a couple home runs in his last outing against the Brewers. He was doing a good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark.
Hicks takes down and away 1-1. Hit a ground ball to Dozier his first time up. Dozier made a nice play, retreating into the outfield grass behind second base to field the hop and then throw him out to Strand. Castellanos at third base. And now Hicks goes down in a heap.
You know, looking at Goodrum's numbers, being a switch hitter, 8 seasons in the Twins system. Came up a little bit last year, as we talked about, but 42 home runs for Goodrum in 8 years in the minor leagues, so it didn't show a lot of power. But he hits his 5th home run for the Tigers.
Last year, though, he hit 13 and 461 at bats. 2-2 to John Hicks. Missed the outside corner. Gibson thought he might have clipped it. 3-2. Looking for the first out here in the 4th inning. Tigers have touched Gibson for a single and a home run. And there's the breaking ball. More and more has become Gibson's strikeout pitch.
Kyle picking up his 3rd strikeout.
Hicks put down on strikes, and that'll bring up Jones.
Straight over the top, breaking ball.
Pitching coaches use the term tilt, and that had good tilt, top to bottom movement. Here's Jones. Inside a ball.
Kyle does try to take advantage of that 6'6" frame and staying back and staying on top of that baseball. Create that angle toward the catcher's glove.
It's foul. Four hits allowed by Gibson. Again, he had set down 9 in a row before Martinez's single.
Kyle making his 137th major league start. Good slider there. 45 career wins, 50 losses, an ERA about 4.5. He has a couple two complete games.
Breaking ball missing. It's 2-2. Just missed 3-2. Close pitch.
Well, this is the angle I was talking about. This pitch right here. Look at 6'6", downward plane, just misses down and away.
Chopper. Barehanded Adrianza with a fine play to get him. Jacoby Jones can run, and A-Ray Adrianza can throw.
That's a nice play by Adrianza, knowing that if he has to do the exchange from glove, ball in the glove to his hand, it may not been able to get Jones, so he barehands it. And then on the run, flipping, getting something on that throw to get the speedster Jones at first base.
2 down, and now Grayson Griner.
Nice play by Adrianza.
And a fastball for strike 1. Strike 2. 95 miles per hour and then 94.
Griner, 25 years old in his rookie season, getting called up on May 6th. Tigers number 3 pick back in 2014, University of South Carolina.
Blocked by Wilson.
Big kid for a catcher, 6'6". They had a catcher with the Tigers, Lance Parrish. Parrish was about 6'4".
Was he really that big?
Yeah.
Dribbler up the line, and Gibson, the first man there to pick it up in foul territory. Sandy Alabar Jr. was 6'3", I believe, 6'4".
Yeah, Lance was built. He was strong. He's my catcher in Anaheim.
Well, he was other people's catcher too. I mean, he caught people other than you.
I remember we mentioned him last night when Jack was here.
Right.
When Jack pitched a no-hitter, Lance Parrish came out and gave him that bear hug. Well, knocked the breath out of Jack, he said.
1 and 2. Who was your catcher when you threw your no-hitter?
Jim Sundberg.
Oh,
Sonny. Good receiver. Very good game caller.
I'm amazed when I see him when we go to Texas that he isn't a shriveled up old man, because didn't he catch like 160 games pretty much every year?
Every year.
Now 3 and 2. Griner bounced to third his first time up. Gibson trying to get off the field here with the Tigers leading 3-1. Hit hard to center field. Good at bat for Griner as he whistles one to center on one hop to Buxton. And that'll bring up Iglesias. This summer, the Twins are offering baseball camps designed for kids ages 6 to 14 of all skill levels. Campers receive a full Major League Twins uniform, a VIP trip to Target Field, including a chance to meet a Twins player and coach, plus much more. It's as close to the Twins baseball experience as you can get without being drafted. Learn more, sign up today at twinsbaseball.com/training. Here's Iglesias. You know, that whole business of putting on a Twins uniform, I know for the fantasy campers, I mean, that's a big deal. You get to put on a Twins uniform, and they do it with so much pride as they take the field on the first day of games on Monday, and wear it still with so much pride on Thursday when they limp into the trainer's room.
Then they hobble out.
But it's the pride of wearing a Twins uniform, you know. 2 strikes to Iglesias.
Well, Kyle needs to get an out right here. Too many pitches this inning. 65 total. Got 28 so far this inning.
Hold up the line. Twins had their starter Lance Lynn get his outs almost exclusively on ground ball outs, and that's kind of what we got going here too. A couple of fly ball outs and a few strikeouts, but even the foul balls like the one there by Iglesias, beaten right into the ground near home plate.
Kyle in his last start, 5 1/3 innings against the Brewers, threw 97 pitches.
Bouncer to third, foul. Pitch count continues to climb for Gibson. Strikeout pitch has been the breaking ball.
Well, Wilson sitting a bit inside. Another foul ball.
Directly to Machado in the on-deck circle, or near the on-deck circle.
Iglesias first came to the big leagues with the Boston Red Sox in 2011. Up and down a couple years. In 2013, he was second in the Rookie of the Year voting, behind Will Myers with the Tampa Bay Rays at the time.
Another ball beaten into the right-handed batter's box, a foul ball.
Iglesias from Cuba, defected from Cuba when he was 17 years old, signed by Boston.
another 0-2 pitch to Iglesias. My goodness, it's just every pitch is just beaten right into the ground up the third baseline. That's what, 5 2-strike fouls?
Some action in the Twins bullpen. Trevor Hildenberger throwing a little bit.
Gibson reloads again on 0-2. Not so much the game pitch count, but this inning pitch count. Gibson having a hard time putting Iglesias away. Keeps throwing strikes, and Iglesias keeps beating them foul.
Pitch number 35 coming toward Iglesias in this inning.
There's a breaking ball, left center field, and Buxton glides after it to finally end the inning. Couple of runs for the Tigers thanks to Martinez's single and Goodrum's home run. Now in the bottom of the fourth inning, and Logan Morrison will lead things off. Morrison heating up, I should say, over the last week or so.
Good to see him get on base, getting some big hits for the Twins. Safely in 16 of the last 17 games played.
Morrison leading things off, then Jake Cave and Ray Adrianza. Ball one from Fulmer. Twins have 2 hits against Fulmer, also taken a couple of walks against him. Line foul into the netting, I believe. Maybe through the netting.
Yeah, right at that corner. Netting ends.
1-1. Popped up, and Goodrum with a long run, but he has no play. 1-2.
Good job today, buddy.
Fulmer's pitch count up a bit. This will be number 70. He's only got 9 outs. Inside, 2-2.
So far, everything pretty hard from Fulmer. Fastball 94 to 96. Hard slider. Occasional curveball.
Pitches up, now 3-2. This is the 10th game this year for the Twins within their division, and they're 7-2 so far. One loss to Chicago, one loss to Cleveland. Twins still haven't seen the Royals. That'll change at the end of this next road trip. 3-2 to Logan Morrison. Pop foul and out of play.
On Logan's first at bat, he got a fastball away and drove it toward that 377 mark. Jones made a nice running catch to retire him to end the first inning.
Another 3-2 pitch from Fulmer. On the ground, might have cracked his bat. A roller to Hicks, flip to Fulmer, and Morrison retired, one away. It's Major League Baseball on FS1 Saturday. The Rangers hosting the Royals. Coverage beginning at 3 p.m. on Fox Sports 1. Then some of the biggest stars in baseball are on Fox. Buster Posey and the Giants taking on Chris Bryant and the Cubs. It happens at 6 o'clock on Fox. The Twins will be in Seattle to take on the Mariners. Cave with a fly to center his first time up. Strike one.
Looking forward to the road trip. Two beautiful ballparks. One in Seattle, one in Kansas City.
And strike two with an off-speed pitch. After the road trip, the Twins are home for a week and a half. 4 with Cleveland, 4 with the White Sox because of a makeup game, and then 3 with the Angels.
Okay, man.
1-2. And Cave strikes out. That's number 2.
Strikeout number 4 for Michael Fulmer. Just rearing back and challenging Cave. Throwing the ball by him.
Twins haven't had a hit now since Rosario's first inning single. 2 down in the 4th. And Adrianza hit a fly ball to right his first time up. And Fulmer gets ahead right away. 0-1. One and one.
Like a changeup there, a rare changeup.
On the ground, Machado has it over to Hicks, and it's a 1-2-3-4 for Michael Fulmer. Dempsey fans of the game enjoying a cloudy but pleasant afternoon here in Target Field. Hey, they're at a ballpark, but more importantly, they're not in school. It's a field trip day for a lot of kids here. Swinging a foul. First pitch to Dixon Machado.
I believe it was weather day.
Yes, they had a big group. And I believe Belinda Jensen and some other meteorologists in the market presented some weather information to the kids. We never had those at the Metrodome because it didn't matter what the weather was.
Domi.
1-1.
Kyle needs a quick inning here after 35 pitches last inning.
2-1.
In the second inning, he threw only 7 pitches to get 3 outs.
And strike 2-2. Tigers limping home after the game. They've had just 1 win on the road trip so far. They lost 3 games in Seattle, have lost the first 2 here. 20-28 on the year, and yet only 4 games behind the Indians. Swinging a foul.
Yeah, they're 12-10 at Comerica Park, but on the road they are 8-18. They have struggled on the road.
Took a 3-game winning streak to do it, but the Twins are 11-11 at home. And 10-12 on the road. Breaking ball missed. And it's a full count. I think Gibson thought he delivered strike 3. Slower breaking ball.
Kyle with 3 strikeouts in the ball game. Yeah, pretty good pitch.
Now bouncer to third. 2 hops to Escobar. 1 away in the 5th. Let's go to Audra Martin.
Guys, our big story is another impressive night for Atlanta youngster Ozzie Albies. He notched his 14th home run of the season and scored all 3 of the runs in the Braves' win over the Phillies. He's been quite a story this year. Just 21 years old. He leads the National League in extra base hits, total bases, and runs scored. You know, with him and Ronald Acuna Jr., guys, the future is very bright for those first-place Atlanta Braves.
Yeah, another youngster middle infielder out of Curacao.
Everybody's different, of course, but it seems like more and more we see young kids rapidly coming through the minor leagues. They get to the big leagues and they don't even blink. They just perform. You know, Twins have kind of seen that a little bit on the pitching side from Romero. Hardly any time at all at AAA. But he feels he felt he belonged here last year. And got here this year, and it's like, well, this is where I've belonged all along. I don't know what the big deal is. 2-0. And a strike. Romero will pitch the opener in Seattle. Likely against James Paxton. Then Odorizzi and Barrios will go.
There's Romero.
Big, tall pop-up near home plate. And Wilson puts it away and foul ground 2 away. And bring up Castellanos. Twin season ticket packages are now more convenient than ever. All traditional ticket plans include unlimited ticket exchange options, so you never have a ticket go unused. Season ticket holders are also automatically enrolled in the Sweet Spot benefits and rewards program. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/season tickets. Castellanos with a double and a ground out. Breaking ball hit high to center field. Buxton back. That's a pretty quick inning for Gibson, right?
Yep.
A 1-2-3 fifth. It's 3-1 Detroit.
3 starts, 3-0, 3.50 ERA coming into today's ball game, and here at Target Field in 2 starts, 2-0 with an ERA at 3. Again, winning his first major league game here in late April of 2016.
Wilson takes up and in, ball 1.
Wilson drew a walk in his first at bat in the 2nd inning. 1 of 2 walks Michael Fulmer has allowed.
Swing and a miss. Fulmer didn't pitch when the Twins swept a 4-game series in Detroit towards the end of last year. And they had quite a series in Detroit. They outscored the Tigers 39-12 in the 4-game sweep. Fouled back into the press box and very quickly back out. What kind of hands we got over there? Rhett Bollinger, I think, had the presence of mind to fold up his laptop so it wouldn't get damaged. 1-2 to Wilson. And fouled it back. That's not a good sign, is it, in terms of range, athleticism? You know, when the ball comes out of the press box faster than it entered. 1-2 to Wilson. And he hooks it foul. Wilson trying to get aboard. Buxton will follow, and then Dozier. Breaking ball. And Wilson cracked his bat. Fulmer had Wilson fooled, and Wilson was still able to make contact.
You see the pitch count for Fulmer at 86, the most he's thrown in a ball game, 109. That came in Detroit against the Tampa Bay Rays back earlier this month. Slider. Bat, a little chip in it.
Off the end of the bat again, and the ball kind of skips to Goodrum. Wilson retired, 1 away. 1 down, and that'll bring up Buxton. Went down swinging on a check swing his first time up. Talking with Byron yesterday, and he was talking about the pain meds that he takes so he can play with a broken toe. Deke Gordon is on the disabled list now with 1. You got to be careful with that stuff. So you can imagine playing a day game after a night game. The medication that he's taking, he's got to be careful. One and 0. Swing and a miss. Says he'll take something about an hour before game time. Then about this time of the game, 5th or 6th inning, the pain med has a ball into left center field, a base hit. Buxton will round first, flying towards second base, and he is safe.
Unbelievable.
How did he make that into a double?
And what a slide toward the infield side to get that hand on the bag. You know what makes that is the way he comes out of that batter's box. Unbelievable. Ball hit through the infield very sharply, and right there he decides I can make it to second. See the tag by Machado. Ball coming out. So it's a double for Buxton with 1 out, his 4th double of the year. First hit for the Twins since the 1st inning.
And now here's Dozier. Tying run at the plate, 1 away. Inside a ball. Anyway, Byron was telling me, not that you'd know it from or notice it from his sprint to second base, but by the middle innings, the pain med kind of wears off, and then his toe really starts throbbing. But he sure got to second base in a hurry, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Breaking ball for a strike, 1-1. broadcast telling us that Buxton got from home plate to second base in 8 seconds. When you got to make a left-hand turn at a 90-degree angle, that's pretty good, I think. One and one. High fly center field. Retreating is Martine. Buxton setting up for a tag. And Buxton will advance to third. On a deep fly ball, 2 away. Bring up Kepler. Today's your day. Happy 100th birthday to Edna Martinson from her daughter Diane. They just won $100 in scratch tickets for being our feature in today's Minnesota Lottery Winner Circle. If you're game for a little excitement, say I'm in. Happy birthday, Edna. Meaning on the mound, Kepler will hit with Buxton at third and 2 down. Kepler struck out swinging in the first, drew a walk in the third. After falling behind early in the count. Over for a strike.
Yeah, a lot of times as a pitcher with 2 outs, you'll go into your windup with the speedy Buxton at third base. Fulmer staying in the stretch position.
Now down and away. Up near the dugout, and no play for Griner. And it's 1 and 2 to Max Kepler. Fulmer trying to complete 5 innings here with less than 100 pitches thrown. 1 and 2 to Kepler. Got him with a breaking ball. And that completes the strikeout with Buxton crossing the plate a few seconds after the out was recorded.
Because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
And with Memorial Day coming up on Monday, our pleasure to be bringing you some baseball during that.
We'll be in Kansas City.
Very important holiday. Yep. Victor Martinez leading off the 6th against Kyle Gibson. Martinez singled in front of Goodrum's home run. That's how the Tigers built their 3-1 lead. Way out in front, and it's 0-2.
A couple straight changeups right there to Martinez from Gibson. Kyle's been able to get 7 ground ball outs, 5 fly ball outs with his 3 strikeouts. He's not walked a batter.
One and 2. My goodness, what has happened to the Arizona Diamondbacks? Brewers leading them 8-2. They can't score runs. They're in a terrible 2-week drought in terms of run scoring and wins, consequently.
Well, lose today, it'll be 7 in a row.
1 win in the last 2 weeks. 2-2. And if the score holds, it'll be another nice win for the first place Milwaukee Brewers. 2-2 to Martinez. On the ground, only one infielder over there, and Martinez will bleed one through. A leadoff single here in the 6th inning.
Martinez picks up his 2nd hit.
That'll bring up Goodrum, who struck out in the 1st but homered in the 4th.
A little bit off the end of the bat, but with the shift, it's a ground ball to short. Escobar unable to get it.
Goodrum hitting his 5th home run of the year. You do something like that against your former team, and Goodrum has no ill will harbored against the Twins. They gave him employment for all those years in the minor leagues. But it has to be good when you hit a home run in this instance and do well against guys that you played with, like Buxton and Rosario and people like that who you spent a lot of time with in the minor leagues. And now Garvin Alston's going to come out to the mound here and talk to Kyle Gibson.
Yeah, Goodrum, you know, he was with the Twins a bit last year in September. 1 hit and 17 at bats, but he got a high fastball right there from Gibson and made it a 3-1 ball game with his 5th home run.
In the minor leagues, just a .250 hitter. Things started to come together for him last year in Rochester.
Became a free agent, signed in November with the Tigers.
(2-0) to Goodrum after Martinez's leadoff single here in the 6th. And now 3-0. A trip to the mound intended to get Gibson back in the strike zone hasn't worked yet.
Maybe that trip too also got Hildenberger back up. Throwing a little bit more.
And a 4-pitch walk. So the 6th inning starts with a single by Martinez and now a walk. Nobody out. Hicks will bat.
Yeah, first walk for Gibson in the ball game.
So you would think Gibson will get at least one more batter here. Hicks at the plate. Ground ball to second and a strikeout. And looking at Dave Clark, who's only about 40 feet from him. You've seen the commercial where the third base coach tells the batter to bunt. First pitch.
whispers in his ear?
No, he just tells him. We're going to bunt. First pitch. And Hicks doesn't bunt and instead wraps into a double play. 2 down. Hicks not there to bunt. He's a power hitter. No one was anticipating it. But Tigers didn't want him to wrap into a first pitch double play.
Hey, big pitch right there by Gibson. Something down in the zone. Created that ground ball out. Nice little 6-4-3 double play. And Victor Martinez scoots over to third.
Jones had a little number his last time up. And Adrianza made a nice play to throw him out.
For Gibson, the 6th double play turned behind him this season in his 10th start.
And he sticks a fastball on the outside corner. One and one.
And you see the difference. Gibson now with a runner at third base. He's working out of the windup. Why? Because it's Victor Martinez, not Byron Buxton.
You don't think Victor's going to try to steal home?
No.
Hot ground ball, and Morrison goes to the bag to beat Jones. And end the inning, it's 3-1 Detroit. Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. By Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. And by Sling. Live TV you love, only better. Third start in this series where a Twins starting pitcher's given the Twins at least 6 innings. Now Eddie Rosario with Gibson in the dugout looking on. Rosario leading off the 6th.
Hopefully they can get him some run support right here. Kyle with 97 pitches. That 4th inning kind of hurt Kyle. That 35 pitches he threw in the 4th.
Meanwhile, Fulmer really hasn't had to struggle. He did strand Buxton after his 1-out double in the 5th, but he hasn't faced more than 4 batters since the 1st inning.
And this is pitch number 100.
And it's 1-2 now to Rosario.
Good sinker down and away.
Escobar and Morrison will follow. Lewis Coleman getting loose in the Tiger bullpen.
Fire it up. Come on now. Come on, Eddie.
I mentioned last inning, 109 pitches is the most pitches that Fulmer has used in a game this year.
Oh, yeah.
Foul. You saw the numbers. Nice catch by the ball boy down the right field line.
Sign him up.
You saw the numbers, and that's fuels the argument some teams have for taking a pitcher out before they face a lineup the third time. And Rosario. Fulmer just slumps his shoulders because he threw a pitch that looked like it was 6 inches off the plate, and Rosario just flicked it to left field.
But that's Eddie Rosario. Unbelievable. The plate coverage that he has. We've seen him hit balls in his eyes, basically, but right here, good movement away. And after going inside, you think you got him down and away. He'll hit a ground ball. Instead, it's a soft line drive in the left. Second hit for Rosario.
Let's go, baby.
And now Escobar checked his swing, but took a strike. That is a fair ball, and there needs to be a tag now on the runner Rosario. And Rosario is tagged out, a double play, with the first base umpire Quinn Wolcott calling that ground ball fair. And Hicks just stepped on the bag, and Rosario eventually tagged out on a double play.
Not much Rosario could do right here. Escobar hitting it sharply, but right you see Hicks holding on the runner. He doesn't bounce off much, but the ball caught. There's the out at first, and then the rundown.
Base is empty, 2 down from Morrison. Looked like it was a fair ball, and it's not a reviewable play because it's in front of the umpires. Fair and foul can only be reviewed or challenged behind the umpires. Ball 1.
If you keep the score at home, the tag out of Rosario goes 3-6, 3-4.
1-0 to Morrison, and now 2-0. Fulmer trying to wrap up the 6th inning. Hoping to beat the Twins for the 4th time in 4 tries. Three and 0. And Morrison reaches Cave for bat. Takes a strike.
Close.
This will be a season high in pitches for Fulmer. He threw 109 pitches in his first start in May against the Rays. Threw a 97-mile-per-hour fastball. Full count.
Emptying the tank here. Fulmer is. Rare's back. 5 strikeouts, a couple walks. Giving up only 4 hits. And 1 run.
Fall back.
Fulmer making his 61st major league start. 22 wins, 22 losses.
Another 3-2 to Morrison. Very high. Fulmer walks Morrison, and that'll get Cave to the plate.
And here comes manager Ron Gardner.
I think Fulmer knew that he had 1 chance to complete 6 innings. He had to get Morrison, and You mentioned it, emptying the tank, left everything that he had left. He gave in the Morrison at bat, and because of the pitch count, 112, Fulmer comes out, and Cave will face Coleman, representing the tying run.
Debuts, but here's a few other things to know about one of the newest faces in the clubhouse. He considers himself a movie and TV buff. His favorite movie is Lone Survivor, and favorite TV show is Game of Thrones. He grew up in Virginia and grew up a Baltimore Orioles fan, especially Cal Ripken Jr. And he has a game day superstition. He puts in a piece of gum right before the game starts with the goal of chewing it all game long. If he has a bad at bat, he gets a new piece. So he says it's great to feel at the end of the game that you can spit out a really old, nasty piece of gum, because that means you had a really good day at the plate. Guys, he's all about doing what he can to help the team. Hopefully that includes a gross piece of gum at the end of the game.
Yeah, and hopefully an extra base hit here against Lewis Coleman.
Yeah, Coleman worked here on Monday night. He relieved Blaine Hardy, worked the 6th and 7th inning, and pitched well. 30 pitches, 18 for strikes. And throws across his body, originally with the Kansas City Royals. Started the season in the minor leagues, called up on the 12th of May.
Popped up behind third. Long run for Jones. Good room there. It's Jones in foul territory making the catch, and we head to the 7th. Tigers up 3-1.
Well, with the Twins down 1-0 in the bottom of the first, Eddie Rosario with an infield or a base hit that tied the game. Scored Dozier, 1-1 ball game, but then Nico Goodrum had a 2-run home run off of Kyle Gibson in the 4th inning, made it a 3-1 ball game. Michael Fulmer looking to go 4-0 against the Twins in his young career as he worked into the 6th inning through 112 pitches, 73 for strikes.
So we go to the 7th, and Trevor Hildenberger will come in to pitch to the bottom of the Tiger lineup. Greiner, Iglesias, Machado.
For Hildenberger, his 21st relief appearance, 21 1/3 innings, 19 hits allowed. He's walked 6, but 3 of those intentional with 17 strikeouts.
By definition, a quality start for Kyle Gibson. 3 earned runs, 6 innings. But the second number, I think, is the most important. The fact that he gave the Twins 6 innings, and the Twins would like that to be, if not an everyday occurrence, a very common occurrence. At least 6 from the starter every time through the lineup, or every time through the rotation. Foul back, 0-2. And as good as Lance Lynn was last night, in his prior start, he gave the Twins just 3 innings, and then it takes a few days for the bullpen to recover from that. Unless you've got a long reliever, and the Twins haven't had that. Now maybe Trevor May will come up and serve first as a long man, can cover 4 innings if need be. That's hit to center, and it'll carry right to where Buxton was standing on the line. And before Iglesias's at bat, when you combine the most provocative man in sports with the most interesting man in sports, you get opinion that cuts through the hype. Catch Speak for Yourself, Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock, weekdays at 4 p.m. Central on FS1. Iglesias with a ground ball and a fly ball this afternoon.
Yeah, the closest the Twins have to somebody that might be considered a long man would be maybe Taylor Rogers or Trevor Hildenberger.
But I think, you know, I mean, when I picture a long man, I'm thinking 3-4 innings, right?
Right.
And they really haven't had that for a long time.
No.
Dylan G, I think, did it for a while last year for the Twins.
Well, Matt Guerrero was one of the best at that when he was here.
Quickly to first from Adrianza, and Iglesias is retired.
I think Ryan Presley can be that guy, but he's been so good at coming in and getting that 1 or 2 outs like he did last night.
Yeah, that was an important part of the ball game. Yep. The Twins were leading just, what, 3-0 at the time, I believe.
Yes. Came in and got the strikeout.
Here's Dixon Machado. And conversely, the Tigers have had an incendiary bullpen for most of this year. They have not been able to pin down leads. We'll see if they can protect this 2-run lead here this afternoon. Beaten foul. There's Chris Basio. Rick Anderson, the bullpen coach, former Twins pitching coach. 1-1. On the outside corner.
Love to watch Trevor pitch. I mean, he'd give you that underarm delivery. Watch this big sweeping breaking ball. Then he'll come in with that changeup that'll run down and in. So 5 days between outings for Trevor,
which I think he needed. You know, I mean, he pitched 3 times in Anaheim in 3 straight days, and then
there
shortly after that against Seattle, just outside.
Wow, that's a good pitch. That's that straight over. Once in a while, he'll come straight over the top with a fastball. Chad Whitson behind home plate missed a ball right there. That's a pitcher's pitch, not called a strike.
Replay brought to you by Carrier. Bouncer foul. Hands of stone. Dave Clark.
Been around the game a long time.
Yep. Good baseball man. 2-2. Breaking ball got it. Good inning for Hildenberg.
Great changeup right there.
As he cuts through the bottom third of the Tiger lineup quickly in the 7th. City, benefiting boys and girls clubs of the Twin Cities, Tuesday, June 5th. Tickets are $75, and it includes a ticket to the Twins game. If you can't make it to the event, you can still make a difference in the lives of club kids. A donation of $5, $10, $20 can provide meals, sports team registration, or literacy program supplies during the summer. Ray Adrianza takes strike 1. See what the Twins can do against this Tiger bullpen. Adrianza, Wilson, and Buxton will hit here in the 7th. Outside, 1-1. Adrianza with a fly to right and a ground ball to second. Coleman got the last out of the 6th inning quickly. Breaking ball, clipping the outside corner.
You know, the Tigers are looking for arms in that bullpen, and Coleman's done a good job so far, getting called up on the 12th of May. Guy that has major league experience with the Royals, pitched pretty well for them. 152 relief appearances, won 6 ball games, had a couple saves a couple years ago with the Dodgers, and then last year basically in the minor leagues with the Cincinnati Reds and the Diamondbacks.
1-2. 2-2.
It's kind of like Hildenberger, other than he's a little bit more side armor, where, you know, Trevor gets down a little bit lower into that release point. But he's stepping almost toward the on-deck circle of the Detroit Tiger dugout.
Tap foul.
32-year-old Lewis Coleman. Played his college ball out of LSU.
Wilson on deck. Off-speed pitch up high. The closer for the Tigers is Shane Green, and he does a fine job. Problem has been getting to him in ball games like this, getting the outs in the 7th and 8th innings. A high fly to right. Castellanos back, still on the grass, 1 away. Tonight's Coors Banquet timeless moment occurred on this day back in 1991. Kirby Puckett went 6 for 7 in 11 innings, and it was his second 6-hit game. Of course, the other one came in Milwaukee back in 1987. 1-0 to Bobby Wilson with Buxton to follow. And now outside. You know, the bullpen, as we've discovered over recent years, is becoming increasingly more important, and it wasn't that long ago that wasn't the case. We've told the story before how back in 1971 Mickey Lolich pitched 376 innings in 1 year. 376.
Tell you what, he could pitch. The slider, occasional fastball.
Joe Jimenez warming up. 2-1 to Wilson. Swing and a miss. Now the 376, you think, well, that's got to be certainly the Tigers record. Well, it isn't. Back in 1904, someone by the name of Mullen pitched 382 in the third innings. But 71, that's kind of current contemporary baseball.
I just wonder who has pitched more innings than Lolich did since that time that he did. It was 1971.
71. 376.
I'm going to guess he's the last one to pitch that many innings.
Wilson fouling another one, right? This time taking the shoulder protector off the catcher Griner. 2-2. And another breaking ball strikes him out, 2 down.
Oh, good slider down and away right there by Coleman. Picks up a strikeout, his first.
And now Buxton.
That crossfire type of delivery. Good location.
Buxton with a strikeout on a check swing, and then he hit a ground ball up the middle and somehow turned it into a double. A breaking ball and strike one. Fouled away, 2 strikes. Reed and Rogers warming up in the Twins pen. Starting pitching's been pretty good the last couple of nights. Twins have an off day tomorrow, so all hands are on deck out of the bullpen. And a fastball gets him. 4 up, 4 down for Coleman, and the Tigers still lead 3-1.
Studio with this update. The Twins are headed for the West Coast, and we'll be with you here on Fox Sports North. It's a late start Friday night for the series opener against the Mariners. Join us at 8:30 for Twins Live, 9 o'clock. First pitch from the West Coast. That's Friday night. Now let's go back to the ballpark.
3-1 here with the Twins trying to put together a comeback win here and put together a winning homestand. Hildenberger pitching to Martin, and there is ball one.
Yeah, Trevor, 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 7th inning.
Floater and a swing and a miss, 1-1.
Trevor made his major league debut in June of last year. Did a good job out of that bullpen.
Swing and a miss, 0-2. Martin's bounced around from Texas to Seattle. Finished the year with the Cubs last year. 2-2.
Martin, like Iglesias from Cuba, defected from Cuba in 2010, signed by the Rangers in 2011. And Hildenberger picks up his 2nd straight strikeout.
One down in the 8th. That'll bring up Castellanos.
So Trevor, off-speed pitches. Watch his changeup right here. Good sink on it.
You mentioned a couple of players from Cuba, and of course the White Sox have a few. And it's kind of odd that the Twins haven't had a player from Cuba recently, because in the early 60s they were kind of the pipeline from Cuba to the United States in terms of baseball, with Camilo Pascual, Tony Oliva, of course, Joel Versalles,
Julio Paquer,
who we just saw at Frank Willis' service the other.
Great.
He sure does.
He never ages.
Missing inside 2-0. With a fastball. Castellanos with a double his first time up. He's had a good series here and continues to be among the league leaders in batting average.
See if Trevor come all the way back right here. Make him swing the bat. There's a strike.
Castellanos has only walked 11 times this year, and 2 of those were intentional walks. Ground ball towards short and under the glove of Adrianza. Twins had 3 infielders on that side, but Castellanos with a sharp ground ball and a base hit with 1 out in the 8th.
Yeah, it's another 2-hit game for Castellanos, his 3rd in a row against the Twins.
It's about the journey, not the destination, unless the destination is $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak today. Start your streak to compete to win $5.6 million. Download Beat the Streak in the App Store or on MLB.com/BTS. Taylor Rogers will come in to face Victor Martinez. as a left-handed batter, has had 3 productive at-bats. A sacrifice fly in the first and a pair of singles in the 4th and 6th innings. So Rogers will turn Martinez into a right-handed batter.
Taylor making his 20th relief appearance. He's been pitching a lot better as of late. He came in on Sunday, faced 2 batters, struck them both out. A high ERA, mainly because of a couple outings he had in early April that didn't go well his way.
So runner at first, 1 down. Martinez hit into 2 double plays last night. Rogers will try to get a ground ball hit at somebody here.
Taylor with a fastball, big curveball. He'll change speeds on that breaking ball.
On the year, Martinez has grounded into 7 double plays. Ball 1. One and 0. Grounder to short. Out at second. And a double play. So Rogers gets the double play grounder. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 3-1 Detroit.
What's coming up after the game on Twins Live presented by CenturyLink. Kyle Gibson was looking to bounce back after a rough outing last time out. We'll break down his afternoon, giving up 3 runs on 6 hits. And speaking of pitching, we'll also take a look at Michael Fulmer's efforts, how he was able to keep the Twins to just 1 run in this ball game. And as always, we'll hear from Paul Molitor. And don't forget, afterwards, head to our Fox Sports North Facebook page. That's where you can find Twins Final Pitch presented by Prism Research. You'll get a recap of today's game, and we will look ahead to the upcoming road trip. Guys, back to you.
All right, Audra. Brian Dozier will lead off the 8th inning, then Kepler and Rosario. The Tigers have been getting reputable relief work from Jimenez in the 8th inning and Green in the 9th, and so this thing is set up okay for them. We'll see what the Twins can do against Jimenez. He delivers outside to Dozier, ball 1.
Yeah, Jimenez making his 26th relief appearance, 20 and 2 2/3 innings. He's walked only 6. And 2 of those intentional, 23 strikeouts. Fastball, slider, changeup.
On the outside corner at 97. The problem has been the number of games Jimenez has pitched in. This is 26 out of 49. That is a foul ball. that will equate to what, 85, 90 games over the course of 162, and that's too many.
Well, don't tell Mike Marshall that.
Well, he was unique, though. He was what he had his degree in kinesiology, right? The study of muscle movement.
Yeah, he was a teammate of mine in Texas.
Oh, not here, because he was here for a while too. Yeah. But you were gone by then.
I was gone by then.
1 and 2 to Dozier. And now 2 and 2.
Jimenez came up last year with the Tigers, made his major league debut against the Twins, actually in relief in Detroit back in early April. Twins ended up winning that ball game 11-5, but he pitched a shutout inning in that game.
Off the plate, 3 and 2. And as you saw his numbers, walks not really a problem. 6, 2 of those intentional in 22 and 2/3 innings. He's in danger of walking Dozier to start the 8th inning. Full count.
Put him on, you'll know where he is.
Hook foul.
Crowd today 891. Trying to get them moving a little bit here. Crowd's been kind of quiet, not much offense for the Twins.
Fulmer deserves some credit for that.
Yes, he does.
Another 3-2 to Dozier. And he missed. There's a leadoff walk.
Here now, Brian Dozier at first base. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins. Hey, I got a text from LaTroy Hawkins. He's tonight going to be the pitching coach down in Chattanooga, so his first mound starter is Irvin Santana. I told him not to mess him up.
And tell him, forget the pitch count, right? Just let him go. Get him a complete game. Ball 1 to Kepler. Kepler with 2 strikeouts and a walk. Twins trying to build an inning now after the leadoff walk. Down and in, 2-0. And now a trip to the mound. Hicks will come.
Yeah, here comes
Chris Bosio's going to come out to the mound.
The pitching coach coming out, try to get him back in that strike zone.
Griner's there. Goodrum.
That's what's, you know, with all the relievers that are used, you just don't know what you're going to get. You know, Coleman pitched good. Got all 4 outs that he was asked to get. But night after night, when you're having 3, 4 relievers come into a ball game, you don't know if that, you know, one guy is off that day.
Told the story before. I still think Art Howe had the best attitude about it. He told me once he felt that the more relievers he used, the better chance he would have bringing somebody into the game who was going to have a really crappy day. And so Coleman was doing just fine. But the formula now is to change pitchers late in the ball game. Jimenez entrusted with the 8th, and then if the Tigers lead is still there, Green the 9th. 2-0 to Kepler. Pulled foul. Checked his swing, but took a strike on the outside corner. 2-2.
Might have been the changeup right there. Good location.
See, that's why we have to have an electronic strike zone. 2-2.
Now get off your bandwagon. Oh, wow.
And a double play. A ground ball hit right past the mound to the second base bag. 2 away.
That ball had a lot of spin on it right there, and Iglesias, with his foot on the bag, had to reach to his right, and all in one motion, watch this ball right over the mound. Don't know if Jimenez had touched that ball to slow it down a little bit, but a nice play. Look at the sink on that pitch right there.
But that is a pitch, and I'll get off my soapbox. That is a pitch Kepler wouldn't swing at if the count were 3-1 as it should have been. And instead it was 2-2. He's got to protect the plate, and he ends up grounding into a double play. And now ball 1. Particularly late in the game, and you know the Brewers had a situation last night with Angel Hernandez, who wouldn't call strikes right down the middle in the 9th inning.
Well, let me ask you, if they put that electronic strike zone in, is there a home plate umpire?
Yes.
So what does he do? Just stand there?
He stands back by the backstop in a segue, and then if there's a play at the plate, he just leans forward, zooms in, and makes his outer safe call, and then he goes backwards again to the backstop. Now, part of my premise should happen. We should have the electronic strike zone. I'm a firm believer in that. 1-1 to Lazar.
I am not. Taking away all the human element out of the game.
Well, if the human element, there's another base hit to left, very similar to the single that Rosario got in the 6th inning. If the human element is wrong, then why not get rid of it?
When are they wrong? Maybe 10% of the time, if that.
Chad Whitson completely changed this inning and the Kepler at bat by calling a pitch a strike that wasn't near the strike zone.
Disagree.
Well, what do you know? Did you ever play?
No, never.
Here's Escobar. Twins need a 2-out jolt here in the 8th inning. Checked his swing, but Woodson said he went 1 strike.
Well, Hammond has done a good job of keeping the ball in the ballpark. He's allowed only 1 home run, this being his 26th relief appearance.
And now a full swing and a miss. 0-2. Outside. One and 2 to Escobar.
Looks like all fastballs so far to Escobar.
And he chases up and away. Jimenez pitches a scoreless, if not clean, 8th inning. June 8th, it's Prince night here at Target Field. The first 10,000 fans through the gates receive an inflatable Prince guitar. Limited number of Prince theme night ticket packages are also available that include a game ticket and a co-branded Prince Twins cap. Go to twinsbaseball.com/Prince to learn more about the Prince guitar and the Prince theme night offer. Top of the ninth, Taylor Rogers bends a breaking ball over the outside corner. Strike one to Nico Goodrum.
Yeah, Goodrum hitting as a right-handed hitter now, where he's hitting .227.
His two-run home run in the fourth inning, the difference in the game. Swing and a foul. 2 strikes. Down and in a ball. Driven hard to left field. Hard off the wall. Goodrum rounding first on his way to second. Here's the throw to the bag, and he is safe at second base on a very close play. Good throw by Rosario, and Goodrum nearly hit a home run from both sides of the plate.
Yeah, Jake Cave did a great job of playing the carom and getting it back in quickly.
Cave in left field, and Goodrum with a double as a right-handed batter.
Well, one thing Goodrum has, he has good speed, but Cave playing the carom, getting it back in. Dozier spins around, but Cave able to get that left hand on the bag before Brian can apply the tag.
Twins took a look at it. They won't challenge it. But Paul Molitor will come out and get Taylor Rogers. Rogers got a double play to get the Twins off the field in the 8th, but he's greeted in the 9th with a leadoff double. Ryan Presley will pitch next. Trying to keep this a 3-1 game.
Ryan making his 25th appearance, 25 innings, 34 strikeouts, 10 walks for Ryan. He worked here in last night's ball game. Threw only 7 pitches, 5 for strikes to 1 batter he faced. He struck out. Ma took in the 7th inning. He was a pinch hitter.
Corner infielders up. Hicks at the plate, not a bunter by trade. He got a pitch up and fouled it straight back. Hicks bounced into a double play when the Tigers had runners at first and second, no one out in the 6th. Though if he was going to be inclined to bunt, he might have bunted there. Wilson blocks it. 1-1. Presley got the last out last night in an important inning. Deep down the right field line. Kepler in the corner and can't make the play. We talked about some of the Tiger relievers and how many games they pitched in. Now Presley, 25th appearance in 45 games. One and two to Hicks.
Need a strikeout right here.
That'll reach the seats behind the Twins dugout.
Trying to get that fastball 96 to, we saw 99 the other night. Also a hard breaking ball.
Shane Green's a Tiger closer. He's warmed up. He's got, as you saw there, 10 saves. Breaking ball tapped foul. About a week ago, the Tigers had a lineup the Tiger announcer said was similar to the one they put out there today. In back-to-back games, they beat the Mariners with James Paxton starting for them. Then the next day, similar type of lineup, a lot of inexperienced players and players maybe not like Goodrum batting cleanup, maybe not where they would normally hit in the lineup, and they beat Carlos Carrasco. So what the Twins are experiencing here is something that a couple of other teams have experienced. The Tigers right now in position to win the final game of this series. 1-2. A dribbler up the line, and Hicks is going to beat out a hit here. First and third, nobody out on a weakly hit grounder, a topper in front of Escobar.
I'll tell you what, that was a good at bat for Hicks. He fouled off some pitches, and even on that pitch, that was a pretty good breaking ball that he just kind of a swinging bunt. Ball was down. Nothing Escobar could do but basically put it in his back pocket and give it back to the pitcher. So runners at the corners, nobody out. Hicks picks up his first hit. And for the Tigers, they're ninth.
I think if I heard right from the Tiger dugout, they got the attention of Chad Whitson. With Morrison coming to the mound to talk to Presley, that will count as a mound visit. First and third, nobody out, and Jacoby Jones will hit against a drawn-in infield. Low, ball one. Over for a strike. Goodrum, the runner at third, runs well. We'll see how the Twins play it if Presley can induce the ground ball. I think in this at bat he's going to try to bear down and pick up a strikeout. Fouled back, and now he's got him with a 1-2 count.
Jones struck out against Gibson in the second inning. 0 for 3. One and two.
And a curveball laced to center field. And the Tigers get a big insurance run.
They left that curveball up right there. Hicks hit a curveball that was pretty good down. But right there, Ryan made a mistake. And Jones delivering his 11th RBI on his first hit. That scores Goodrum for the second time in the game.
Run charged to Taylor Rogers, but now Presley's got a couple of runners aboard.
See a breaking ball. You'd like that down a little bit more in that strike zone. It stayed up about thigh high, and Jones slapped it in the center.
Dribbled foul to Dave Clark. Griner, the batter. And now 1-1. Breaking ball missing the outside corner. 2-1.
Griner just playing in his 7th major league game. Being called up in early May.
There's a big swing and a miss at that quicker breaking ball.
More of a slider.
Two and two. Now a full count. Since Presley entered the game, there was a scratch single, a little topper in front of Escobar for Hicks. Jones lined a solid single to center, and now it's a full count. Still nobody out in the inning. And he missed low, and they're loaded up now for Iglesias. So a rough outing for Presley, who's had so many good ones. Zach Duke getting loose in the Twins' pen. Here comes Garvin Alston to try to calm things down on the mound.
And this is also a slow trip to the mound to let Zach Duke get some more throws in the bullpen, who just got up.
A 4-1 ball game, and the Twins have been out hit 10-5. It would be a save situation if the score doesn't change here in the top of the inning. A save situation for Shane Green. Twins have the infield in again. Fastball on the outside corner, 98 miles per hour.
Yeah, one thing about Iglesias, he doesn't strike out much. He usually puts the ball in play. 23 times he has struck out in 166 at bats.
What a stop by Dozier. They'll come home for the force play and get one out. Very little time to react. And that first hop skipped on Brian, and he stayed with it.
Well, the Gold Glove winner made a nice backhanded play right there. Had to go to his right, get that little short hop. Had enough time to get up and get the runner at home, that being John Hicks. So a nice play right there. And a force out at home.
Iglesias reaching in a fielder's choice. Infield stays in. Dixon Machado, the batter. And another upper 90s fastball placed right on the outside corner. And now over the inside corner. I don't know that we've seen a span of 4 batters faced by Presley without there being 1 strikeout. See if he can get Machado on this 0-2 pitch.
Got him.
There's a strikeout, 2 away. And now Martin will bat. Bases are still loaded, but now there are 2 gone.
Yeah, big strikeout right there, Ryan. After the visit from Alston. Rearing back, throwing that fastball, and getting the big strikeout.
Martin singled and scored in the first since then. A little number in front of the plate thrown out by Wilson, a foul out and a strikeout. These are some angry fastballs that Presley's throwing.
Well, he left a couple breaking balls up, and Garvin went out there, Alston went out there just to basically let Duke get some more throws in. And whatever he said, Ryan's throwing nothing but fastballs.
Upper 90s, and he's put them in good spots. Down and in, 1-1. Tries to spin on one, and he chased a high fastball. That's 1-2.
Well, Presley trying to eliminate the damage already done.
Another fastball beaten foul. One and 2. Little roller. And Dozier picks it up and flips. A run for the Tigers, but they lead 3. They still lead by 3 going to the bottom of the ninth. Green, who's been with the Tigers quite a while now in a variety of roles. He is their closer, and he has saved half their wins this year.
Pat Green making his 23rd relief appearance, 10 saves and 13 save opportunities.
Green came over and immediately had a big impact in the Tiger rotation as a starting pitcher.
Yeah, came over from the Yankees 2015, put in that rotation. Really a couple years ago they put him out in that bullpen. And last year appeared in 71 ball games, picked up 9 saves, but now the closer for Ron Gardenhire.
Logan Morrison to lead off the bottom of the ninth. Strike one.
Green with a good fastball. You saw that last pitch, a slider. Also a changeup.
Really good opponent batting average last year, just 205 in a relief role. One strike to Morrison. Popped up short left.
Jones fighting the sun, but he's able to get it in the glove.
One down, and now Jake Cave. CenturyLink what's next. An off day tomorrow, a travel day technically. We'll fly to the West Coast, and then Romero will pitch Friday, Odorizzi Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon Jose Barrios. Mariners haven't listed their starters for that series, but I believe Paxton is lined up to pitch on Friday night. One down, and now Jake Cave. Rolled slowly to short, and Iglesias. Did he keep a foot on the bag? Apparently 2 down. 2 quick outs here in the 9th inning.
Hicks kind of stumbled getting that ball, but able to keep that foot on the bag. Right there after.
Ooh, then the foot came off. Comes down to their last out, and they will send Grossman up to hit against instead of Adrianza. Trying to keep the game alive for Mitch Garver, who's in the on-deck circle. And a breaking ball bends over, strike one.
Robbie 1 for 8 as a pinch hitter. That one hit as a left-handed hitter. He's 1 for 6.
Tigers started the road trip with a win, then 5 losses. Now they're hoping to end the road trip with a win. Fouled away. 2 strikes. Might change by Friday, but right now the Twins with a 4-man bench and 12 pitchers. And the 4 bench players today: Garver, Grossman, Lamar, and Petit. 2 strikes to Robbie Grossman.
Green pounding that strike zone.
Just, and I mean just, off the outside corner. Wow. One and 2. 2 and 2. There's Garver. He will hit next if Grossman can reach. A high fly to right. Castellanos is there, and the Tigers do in fact end a 5-game losing streak, and they bookended the road trip with wins.
Well, Michael Fulmer getting the win. He's 4-0 lifetime against the Twins in his 4 starts. And good job by the bullpen here this afternoon for Ron Gardenhire and his staff.
And Tom Hanneman, the Twins winning streak comes to an abrupt halt. An off day tomorrow, and they'll hope to build another winning streak on the road.
Dick, the Twins sink below the 500 mark at home as well, but they do take 2 out of 3 from the Tigers. Up next on Twins Live, presented by CenturyLink. We'll go through what occurred on the mound today here from Paul Molitor and look ahead to Seattle.